How are you?
Another Luca.
Yeah.
How many do we have now?
3.
There's 3 Lucas.
Yeah, me, Pinelli, Morelli.
And then next year we'll just draft.
Nice rhyming.
Yeah, exactly. What we're saying, Brindley's guy, we gotta add
Yeah.
like an Italian to his last name or something.
It's kind of got it.
Yeah,
If
a little bit.
it ended in an I.
That's what
if
we
it
said.
ended in an
That's
I.
what we
right.
theorized.
Perfect. Yeah.
How good did that one feel to end it like that in overtime and then the celebration?
Yeah, I mean, it felt great to get that one out of the way. I felt like our line generated a couple chances, but couldn't really. I mean, Pinelli obviously got his goal, but we felt we deserved more, so it was good to end it like that.
What more can you say about Mateychuk, the way that he made that pass over to you?
I mean, Denton's game is so mature. You see it. He moves so well. He's so smart. He's not the biggest, but he can definitely hold his own. So he's definitely going to be a special player. And yeah, I mean, he made a great play there. I mean, eyes at the back of his head.
Certainly a chippy game out there. 3 fights, an element of sticking up for everybody. Is there any kind of concern when you see that many fights in a prospect tournament setting?
I mean, it's hard to say. Everyone wants to try to make a name for themselves. Energy's high, adrenaline's there. So, yeah, guys just want to make a name for themselves. So if that's how they want to do it, then that's how they want to do it. And, I thought our guys did a great job, especially, Chucky there is a younger guy. And, he held his own threw some big bombs and did well.
How are you personally approaching this year's camp? Like you've had a couple of these now. Played in the AHL last year. Scored your first NHL goal. What's the mental approach for you right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different going into this one, now having a year of pro under my belt and also having that taste of the NHL. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going into camp, with a confident mindset. And, yeah, I'm going to play my game and, try to make the roster.
Just asking them about the togetherness factor. That's a powerful thing, being united, being together, especially given how everything is happening. What have you noticed in the locker room in which guys are really fully taking advantage of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing, especially here, that they established early was like trying to be the tightest team. So, we spent a lot of time away from the rink together, and I think it's a huge thing in hockey. Tight groups go a long way, and it's a really main important factor in hockey.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, bud.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you again.
Good to see you guys.
How you doing, Denton?
I'm well. Excited
Yeah?
to be back in Columbus.
Nice.
Best time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. You getting ready to ramp it up and get this thing going for real this week?
Yeah, for sure. It's nice to play with the prospects and guys you're hopefully building a little bit of a friendship with for years to come, and get out there and play with them.
This is your third one of these already?
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Oh, it's hard to believe. I can still remember, coming to the first one, being just nervous as heck to get out there and play with guys like Kent Johnson and those guys, and yeah, it's been kind of a whirlwind, but you get excited for them.
So the overtime play, what did you see to get that puck over to Luca?
Well, I knew that once it kind of spun off the wall there was one guy coming kind of above me and the other guy was low, and I wasn't exactly sure where the third guy was, but I knew there had to be some open ice there, so I kind of didn't really get a time to shoulder check, but I just put it off my backhand to the middle, and Luca was there.
What do you make of the number of fights in the game? Feels like this game, the game yesterday, a lot of scraps. Is that something that just kind of goes flow of the game, especially in a prospect tournament? Is that something that, how concerning can something like that be to see so many fights?
Yeah, I mean, the number of fights, don't normally see that. I think, 3 fights tonight, so I mean, the guys are, standing up for each other, and that's great. We're going out there, and they're leaving it all out there, and I think that's a good thing to see.
Just what have you seen just in the locker room from your perspective about everybody just being together, just the whole being united, given everything that has happened?
Yeah, I think it's it's huge that everybody's staying close, and guys, it's a terrible thing, and you have to keep moving forward. And I think we're all here to play hockey, and guys just try and keep it at that when it's at the rink, and I think that's good. They're going out there and they're playing their hearts out.
And then wearing a C, just what does that mean to you to see that?
Yeah, I mean, it's an honor. Been dreaming of putting on an AHL jersey, since I was a little kid, and I think to have that C on there is just a bonus. And I try to be the best person I can be all the time, off the ice, on the ice, and just trying to lead.
I think when we look back on maybe your prospects camp in Traverse last year, followed by the preseason you had, you could make the argument that we could see you sticking around last year. It didn't happen. When you look back at how this past season went, how do you look at it, and do you feel like that you were able to grow?
Yeah, I think for sure. I took steps, and I felt like I had a good camp, and I showed what I can do out there in the preseason and in the rookie tournament, and that's just what I'm trying to do. Show these guys that I think I'm ready, and I'm just going to go out there every day and do that. And I was trying to just be a pro and junior last year, throughout the regular season and the playoffs, and just trying to keep those habits that you see from these guys every day.
How helpful was it to? I mean, you did all the stuff, Team Canada, all of that good stuff, and then the playoff run, World Cup. But then you also go join the Monsters at the end and really kind of start the professional thing. Was that helpful to kind of join?
Yeah, for sure. I think just you can watch the hockey on TV, and you can stream it and watch back, but you can't you don't really know what it's like until you play in it, and I think that's huge. Getting a couple of those games, just you see how those guys bring it every night, and how close they are a group like that, and I mean it gets you excited. Like from then on, you just want training camp to come and get the season going for pro a full year right away.
The general rule of thumb is obviously that it takes defensemen a little longer than maybe forwards to get to that NHL level and be a full-time guy. How much patience do you have to have, and is that one of the things you've kind of learned to this point? Just kind of, it's a process.
Yeah, for sure. I trust everybody in this organization. I'm just going to go out there and try to get better every day, and if I'm in the American League or in the NHL, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm going to go out there and just try to be the best me.
So we're back here, obviously, long off season and whatnot, but you did, I think the last time we saw you was in Columbus, and you were getting ready to go back to Cleveland. How was that run? I mean, I know that you maybe were not in it at the beginning, but you kind of joined in. How helpful was that playoff run for you personally?
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. We were a really tight group down there. Obviously, it sucked, being out early with an injury and then trying to get back in game shape, mid playoffs. It's not the easiest thing, but the guys made it easy. Really tight knit group down there, and we have a lot of the same guys that will be returning. So it'll be an exciting season to see what we can do.
So along those lines, you didn't just get one or two games in the NHL. You got a pretty decent chance to play there toward the end of the season. I thought you acquitted yourself really well. How did you feel leaving that season? From the NHL perspective.
I felt really good. Obviously took maybe a couple of games. Obviously first game get the jitters, and then by game 2, 3, 4, you feel really confident, getting the guys a bit better. The system. I mean, obviously it's the same system we play down in Cleveland. But no, I'm really happy with the showing that I had, and obviously coming into camp this year, I'm just trying to play the same way because I'm really confident, and I think that my game translates well to the next level, and that I can be a solid player up there.
Quite a chippy game out there. What did you make of the number of fights out there? Like 3 of them that game.
Yeah, I mean, we always talk about sticking together as a group, standing up for each other, standing up for yourself, and we got some tough boys in there, and no, I mean, we want to be the hardest working team out there, and if guys want to come out there and try to push us around, we got the guys in there that'll stand up for themselves.
Speaking of togetherness, what have you noticed in the locker room in which where you're standing united and together, given everything that has happened?
I mean, obviously it's been a tough couple of weeks. Times like these, kind of try to lean on each other. Obviously it's really sad in the hockey world, and we're just trying to get through it the best we can.
Biggest priority in your off season?
Training hard. I mean, it's back-to-back summers that are kind of short, but that's the best thing about hockey. You go find the playoffs, you kind of have a short off season, but you get in the gym, you work hard, and then it's a quick turnaround. So, I mean, just training hard in the gym, hard on the ice. I got a couple of games last year, so it really made me motivated this summer.
How do you feel like that this camp will be easier for you now that you know what that has been like?
Well, I mean, it's not going to be easier. It's going to be harder. A lot of guys are going to be pushing. We're a young core. Obviously, I mean, there's a couple spots that maybe some people could take here and there, but everyone pushes each other. And just because I got some games last year doesn't mean it's going to be easier. It's just going to make me work even harder and try to achieve my goal.
We just asked Denton this question. Defensemen do tend to take a little bit longer than maybe forwards as getting up there to that NHL level. But both of you guys, when you're young, both positions, you have to have a little bit of patience, right? Is that a skill that, you guys aren't patient people, right? You want to play, you want to get there as fast as you can. Is that something you've had to learn how to kind of manage? Is just the borderline or the balance of patience versus pushing?
Yeah, hockey, unlike some other sports, it's a bit longer to develop. I think the American League is a great league, and everyone down there, their main goal is playing the NHL. So, when you get drafted, you don't automatically think you're going to be in the NHL. You gotta develop. You gotta go through the process, and obviously patience is a key. But everyone has the same goal in mind, so you just try to help each other, because at the end of the day, if I help the guy next to me, it's going to help me and it's going to help him. So we just try to stick together and help each other and push each other.
Now you guys had a number of AHL veterans on your team as well when you made the playoff run.
Yeah.
You also had a number of young guys as well, prospects who were really on the way up. That's kind of rare in the AHL. It's usually the teams like Hershey that have guys that have been there forever. Do you think that helped form the bond for you guys, that you young guys, hey, we can make this happen?
Yeah, we had a great variety. Maybe having a lot of young guys kind of made the older guys feel a bit younger.
Sure.
But no, we had great energy in the locker room. We had a really young coaching staff. So, the vibe, the culture, everything was there, and we're happy with what we achieved. Obviously, we came up a bit short. But, as a really young group, having, great veterans last year, we took as much information and as much stuff that they've, passed down to us, because they've been in the league for a while. And now it's just, our turn and our time to kind of absorb everything that they gave us, the knowledge, and, use that into this season.
With that long run, how are you doing physically?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hockey answer if I ever heard one right there.
I'm doing good. I'm feeling good.
Just a couple of questions. From a teammate of yours, Sivolo Komarov.
Yeah.
What can you say about him? You played together 2 years?
Yeah, we played together 2 years. I actually spoke to him the other day. He's doing great. He's playing the same way he played back in Quebec. He loves to handle the puck out there. He's a big boy, and I don't have a doubt in mind that he'll be very successful in his future. He's a great guy. The guys love him in the locker room, so he's really the full package.
What can you tell us about him as a person that you know about him?
As a person, he was a bit shy when he first arrived, but obviously that's normal coming from Russia. But as soon as he opened up, you saw he has a great sense of humor. He loves being at the rink. He loves playing the game, and the guys in the locker room love having him there.
What stands out about his game?
About his game, I think the way he handles the puck. He always has the puck on his stick, and he might not look like the fastest or best skater, but when he's out there, he's quick, and it's hard to get the puck off him.
That overtime situation, seeing Denton make a play like that, Luca burying it, and then the celebration there, was there maybe a feel-good moment in that, just knowing that you're getting back to normal, playing hockey, and then having it end like that?
Oh, for sure. I thought just as a whole, our group played way better overall, from a coach's perspective, just structurally, and the things we're looking for them to grasp from game 1 to 2. I thought overall the group did a much better job just away from the puck defensively in some of those areas. And then it's fun. You get to see the overtime and some of the high-end skill take over. Morelli had a beautiful pass there early that didn't go in, and then a pass that not many can make on the winner there from Dents. And it's fun. We talk about them, coming together as a group. I think we talked about that yesterday, right? And having fun with it, right? They're hockey players. We're starting a new season. They should have fun, and you see that with the big celebration there at the end. They should enjoy it. Good for them.
So many fights in this game. There was some yesterday, 3 more today. An element of sticking together as a team, but is there any concern in a prospect tournament setting so many fights?
Gosh, I don't know if there's concern, and I'm definitely not telling guys to do so. I'm saying that we want to stick together for sure and have each other's backs as teammates and hopefully future teammates. But some players like to play a hard-nosed style and feel that they can make an impact that way, and I'm certainly not going to get in the way of them, trying to impact the game. And it's not something we're looking for in a prospect tournament, but good for them to stand up for themselves and for each other in a sense. And show that they have that in their arsenal as they turn into pros.
And in the little bit of time that you've known him, what has Denton Mateychuk done to earn the C on his jersey?
I think just he carries himself much more maturely than the age he is. I mean, even he came and joined us in the conference finals in Cleveland last year, and there was no situation too big for him. He's calm and collected, and he just has leadership qualities that you can't teach, as far as the maturity that he has, obviously the poise he has on the ice, but just the way that he carries himself around his teammates. He does everything the right way. He takes the initiative when things need to be said or done, even as a young player. And I think there's a reason why he's been the captain of his team in junior, the captain of Team Canada, and that's why he's wearing the C here.
Normally I would ask you about that situation and say, were you pretty surprised? I don't think you were probably that surprised, were you? Were you that surprised that you were able to step into the finals?
No. Honestly, just the things I'd seen from him in Traverse and training camp as an 18, 19-year-old, and getting to know him a little bit in those situations, what he'd gone through in that season with taking his team all the way to the Mem Cup final and Team Canada. Like, he's been through so much. He hasn't been a pro yet, but he's been through so much, and he stepped in and was, I think I don't know if he played under 20 minutes, right? And we actually asked him when Jay Christensen came back if he played the offside, or could he play the offside. He said no problem. And so he played the offside the second night, and we didn't notice. There was no hiccups at all, smooth as ever. And that just, again, I can't explain how rare that is for somebody of that age to come in and be comfortable in that situation in a high pressure moment, elimination game at the end of the year.
I honestly when I think back at Traverse last year, and then the preseason he had, it wouldn't have surprised me if they had kept him for the 9 games or something like in the NHL. And he goes back, but he's just expressed so much. It doesn't seem to phase him, right?
No, and that's
patience. He's got it.
And I think that's part of the leadership quality. You look for guys to stay even keel in high pressure situations, and the high pressure situations that I've been through with him, he's the exact same player as he is out here in an exhibition, and he's able to make plays under pressure in hostile environments on the road when seasons are on the line, just like he is out here in a prospect tournament. I think that's something, again, that you just can't teach, and he's confident in himself in a way that he's not affected by big moments, and that's leadership quality in and of itself.
You got a couple guys. I mean, there's him, Bel Belluz, Malatesta, jump off. Just the first 3 that come to mind. But like, those are guys that we could see in the NHL, or they could be on your team. I mean, when you are starting to see these guys develop, are you starting to see more guys where you're like, oh, yeah, that's an NHL player that we still have a little bit of work to do, but
yeah, for sure. And again, like we expect them at this tournament and to make impacts now after they've been here for a few years, and we've talked about that like they should. But they are, and I think that's just the progression that we expect of them, is to make an impact at this tournament, to keep their confidence high, make an impact at an NHL training camp, and push for an NHL roster spot. That's my mindset for them, and hopefully theirs is coming to training camp to make an NHL team. And you let the chips fall where they may, but I think they all have the ability to do so. If not this year, then certainly in the near future. Just the way that they've come along in only the year that I've obviously had Del Bel, Jimmy, and the few weeks that I've had Dents. So no, exciting for sure.